can't say I always wanted to be a saint because I grew up Protestant, but the first saint I was introduced to was Saint Bernadette, and ever after that, little Julie wanted to be Bernadette. Okay, that's how we are. We need models. We need role models. The catch is we can't replicate that. We can't become like the next Saint Therese or the next Mother Teresa. We are called to be the next saint, whoever our name is. That we are all called to be saints. The interesting thing is, though, the saints weren't imitating other saints in order to become saints. They were imitating Jesus. So we're all called to become saints, but where we are. And that's why I gravitate to Madeleine Delbrel. For me, she's like a teacher, a spiritual mentor, a kindred spirit, because she didn't grow up in the most ideal circumstances either. Although she was born Catholic, she left the faith, she became atheist and then communist and then had a reversion. But instead of entering the convent, and when she refound her faith, she understood that Jesus wanted her to be a saint where she was. So she continued to live in a communist neighborhood, but she lived out the Beatitudes where she was. And she was a missionary and a mystic, but a regular person. All her neighbors, she was magnetic, really, and I can see why. If I wanted to describe Madeleine Delbrel, I would say she's a cross between the Apostle Paul and Saint Therese. I know, it's hard to imagine, but somebody who is extremely apostolic, very mystical, but with her feet on the ground. And one of the quotes, and I really highly suggest this book only because most of us are ordinary. This says the holiness of ordinary people. I still, after 50 years in the convent, feel quite ordinary. That could be discouraging for some people. But the thing is, all of us are ordinary, and God puts us where we are and wants us to be saints where we are. So all the graces are there. So she has this wonderful quote, and it's about the fact that, sometimes, yeah, it's true. God calls some people to be religious or priests, but then he calls the vast majority of people just where they are to become saints. And anybody who's in heaven is a saint. So we are all working for this, or we should be working for this. So this is what she says about it. In spite of the fact that there are some people that God sets aside, this is what she says. There are others whom he leaves in the masses and whom he does not withdraw from the world. These are people who do ordinary jobs, who have an ordinary household or an ordinary single life. People who have ordinary illnesses, ordinary deaths. People who have an ordinary house, ordinary clothes. These are the people of ordinary life. The people we meet on any street. They love their door that opens onto the street, just as their brothers who are hidden from the world love the door that has definitively closed on them. We, the ordinary people of the streets, believe with all our might that this street, that this world where God has placed us, is for us the site of our holiness. We believe that we lack nothing necessary because, if any necessity were missing, God would have already given it to us. I mean, that's only one of many, 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 many encouraging quotes, but it's one of my favorites because, like I said, for 99.9% of the entire world are ordinary people, but we are called to be saints. And if you need a teacher, if you need somebody who's walked the same path, somebody that can say it in ordinary speech, what does it mean to be a saint? What does it mean to be an evangelizer? What does it mean to spread the gospel and to live the life of Christ where you are? It would be this, Madeleine Delbrel. Most of her works are in French. We can count ourselves very lucky. Me in particular, I don't read French, so this one is in English, as is a few other of her titles that have been translated. She's now venerable, so she too is on her way to being canonized. But she is a terrific saint friend. She is a wonderful model and a great teacher and mentor, and I highly, highly recommend it because we all need a little help when it comes to, our ordinary lives, looking at it the way God sees it, which is incredible. He has given us all the graces we need for right where we are to be the saint we are called to be.